All right, I'm short on time today, so I'm going to try to do my workout in under 25 minutes, including warm-up. It's a 5x5 rep range, and I'm going to do 5 warm-up exercises. So first up is going to be thoracic extension. So going to move quickly here. You pause if you need to, otherwise stick with me. Put your hands behind your head. The foam roller is across the bra line. Elbows together. Take a breath in and out as you go back. We'll do this 5 times. Trying to get some movement through the upper back. Keeping the elbows together helps take the strain off the neck. All right, next up, we are going to do some breathing. So sometimes I might take longer with this part, but I'm going to do my 360 breathing, and we're going to try to do it all sticking with 5 reps. So let's start off with inhale, trying to get some movement through the rib cage. I'll do another one focused on my inhale, trying to get some movement through the back and the sides of the rib cage. My thumbs are near the back of my rib cage here. Put your hands onto your stomach. Now we're going to take 2 breaths focused on the exhale. Breathing in, trying to get movement from the rib cage. Breathing out, abdominals are engaging, wrapping around the stomach. Breathe in, movement from the rib cage. Breathe out, abs are working, wrapping around the stomach. Let's do 1 for the pelvic floor. So breathing in, pelvic floor relaxes. Breathing out, pelvic floor engages all the way up to the belly button, all the way up to the sternum. All right, that's it. Next up, we're going to do some bird dog. So this one, I'm going to sneak in 5 on each side. Back is stable, reaching through the floor. Breathing. The arm that's on the ground here, that's the important arm. Keeping the head and neck in a neutral position. We'll do 1 more on each side. All right, next up, grab your stability ball. We're going to do 5 T's, 5 I's. You might notice I'm cheating a little bit. I'm getting a couple extra exercises in here. That's okay. So I'm going to do knees off the ground. Since I'm only doing 5, make it a little bit harder. Reaching away from the body here. Knees are straight, so the quads are working. Reaching away from the body, head and neck are in a neutral position. If you don't feel like your head or neck are in a neutral position, try looking at some place different. Now we'll do the side eyes, bringing the arms right up to the side, working the triceps, trying to keep the arms long. We'll do 5 of these. This is my kind of rep ranges. I would much prefer doing lower rep ranges, but we're going to make it hard by making the exercises harder. So the last part of our warm-up, we're going to do 5 on each side, a 1-leg RDL to a lateral lunge. So let me show you from the side. Standing on my right leg, I'm going to do that 1-leg hip hinge, tap my feet together. Now with my left leg, I'm going to step out into a lateral lunge, and I'll do 5 of these. 1-leg hip hinge. That's like my deadlift. Inova. Got a cat visitor. 1-leg hip hinge into a lateral lunge. We're going to do 5 of each. 1-leg deadlift or hip hinge. Get those hips back. We'll do 1 more. On those lateral lunges, try to get a little bit lower every time, as long as everything's feeling good in the knees and the hips and the lower back. We'll do the other side. 1-leg hip hinge on my left leg now. Hip hinge or deadlift. Lateral lunge out to the side. Let me show you what this will look like from a different angle. So I'm doing my 1-leg deadlift or hip hinge, stepping out to the side in the lateral lunge. We'll do a couple more. 1-leg deadlift or hip hinge, stepping out to the side. Trying to get some movement in some different planes of motion here as we're warming up. All right, that's it. Warm-up's done. The exercises are going to be a dumbbell step up, push-ups, 2 dumbbell, 1 arm row, and then a 2-foot lateral hop and some standing band hip flexion. If you need to pause and grab any equipment, go do that. Excuse me. I'm going to start, so this box, I have 3 different options for height. So I'm going to start on the medium height, and that way I can always make it a little bit harder, a little bit easier if I want to. I'm going to start with 2 10-pound dumbbells, and like you know, we're going to do 5 on each side here. Driving through your heel, and I'm going to do it, I'm going to leave my leg up there the whole time. I know when I'm doing these step-ups, you're not able to see my head at the top. That's okay. If you could, you would see I'm looking straight forward. My body's nice and upright through the whole thing. And let's do the other side. We're doing 5. So when you're only doing 5 of something, you want to pick a resistance and a height here that's going to be challenging. Driving through the heel, body's nice and tall. All right, next up is going to be the push-ups. So I have a target for my chest here. I'm going to use the same idea here. I'm going to go, I could be low, medium, or high. I'm going to go medium. Aiming for 5. Put it right underneath your chest. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, you're going down and up in that exhale. Pushing through the ground. Abs are engaged here. Head looking slightly forward. Last one. If that felt easy, make it harder next time. If that felt hard, make it easier next time. All right, now we're going to do 2 dumbbell deadlift to 1 arm row. So it's going to look like this. Going down to the bottom of a deadlift, going to row with 1 arm, going to row with the other arm, and then stand up. We're doing it 5 times. Deadlift, row, row. You can switch up the order of your rows if you want to, but I don't think it matters too much here. On those rows, trying to keep the back nice and flat. Abs engaged. We're doing 5 of these. All right, done with that one. Next up, we're going to do a 2-foot lateral hop. We'll do 5 each. I have something to hop over. It's just a little band. That way, if I hop on it, it's not going to be a problem. Little knee bend. Land with both feet on the ground. Leave with both feet at the same time. So that's the goal here. We're going to land at the same time and leave at the same time. Doing 10 total, 5 on each side. Of course, adjust those reps if you need to. If you want to make it easier, just do less. Feeling any strain in your knees, you can also just hop back and forth through a little lateral hop. All right, we're going to do some standing band hip flexion. Oh, I need that band. So you're going to put the band around your feet. This is going to be a core exercise. We'll do 5 on each side here too. Standing up nice and tall. Drive through the floor with the foot that's staying on the ground. Do 5 on one side. Abs are working. Body's nice and tall here. Breathing out as you come up. Drive through the heel with the other side. My glutes are working here on the leg that's straight, on the standing leg. Nice tall body here. Breathe out as you're coming up. All right, and that's it. Round 1 is done. Ooh, I need a pen. All right, you keep track. 1 down, 4 to go. Going back to the step up. I thought this was pretty hard. I'm going to stick with what I had on the first round. 5 on each side. Driving through your heel. Body's nice and tall. Try to maintain some control on the way down, and that really depends on how much weight you're using and how high you're going. And you're doing 5. That should be pretty easy to count, though I feel like I could still mess it up. All right, 5 on the other side. Breathe out as you're going up. Standing up tall. driving through the heel to get up to the top. All right, done with those step ups. Back to the push-ups. I felt like this was a pretty good challenge for me as well, so I'm gonna stick with what I did in the first round. Nice long body here. Take a breath in, breathe out, aiming for 5. Reaching through the floor, abs are engaged. All right, next up we're doing that deadlift with the one arm row at the bottom. Let me show you from the other side. Deadlift down, one row, everything is stable, back is nice and flat, take your time. We're doing low reps, so take your time. I know it can be tricky when you're feeling like you're in a time crunch, but that's really just something to help you, motivate you. It's totally fine if we are going to be over or under our time. All right, 2-foot lateral hops. And you can see as we're going, once you know the exercises, 2-foot lateral hops here, 10 total, 5 each. Once you know the exercises, things are probably going to move a little bit quicker. Make sure you're breathing. Nice soft landings. Hip flexion is next. You're going to put the band around your feet. Stand up nice and tall, hands on your hips. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're bringing one leg up, driving through the heel, aiming for 5. Nice posture. I'll show you from the side here. Standing up tall. Breathing out as you're lifting, driving through the heel with the foot that's on the ground. That glute's working here to stabilize the leg that's straight. All right, that was round 2. If you're counting, I certainly am. All right, you know what's next? Back to the step ups. So I felt like that with this weighted, put a little strain on my knee. So I'm gonna go to the lower height here. Also, so I can show you from a different angle. We're doing 5 on each side, driving through the heel, body's nice and tall. Having some control on the way down there. You can see my armpits are in tight to my body. And you know we're doing 5. Also, I don't have shoes on, so I'm going down to a mat just to be a little bit easier on my foot as I'm coming down. If you're wearing sneakers, you don't need to worry about that. Got your 5 in, dumbbells down. You know what's next, it's the push-up. I'm gonna stick with this how it was in the first couple of rounds. I felt like that was a good challenge. Hands are right on the sides of the yoga block. Take a big breath in. Breathe out as you're moving. Pushing through the ground here. Look forward, abs engaged. All right. Next up, back to those 2-foot lateral hops. Grab your target to jump over. All right. I want to show you what this would look like as more of a power exercise. So what I mean by that is I'm going to start in a squat, I'm going to land in a squat. Thinking about coming up and over. Stand with your feet however is comfortable, however wide. If you need to reset in between, go for it. All right, and then let me show you what that would look like if I was doing more of a bounding or a hopping. So these are going to be probably quicker, and going to feel that a little bit more in my feet, ankles, lower leg. So both are fine, both are good. Oops. Hip flexion. All right, you're going to see my other cat possibly. Okay, standing up nice and tall, driving through the floor. The leg that you're standing on, you're using that glute. Breathing out as you're coming up. Driving through the floor on the other side. Using that glute, standing up tall, abs are engaged. This is primarily a core exercise. Toes up towards the ceiling. Breathing out as you're coming up. All right. Ooh, I think we just might do it. So that was round 3. I'm going to jump right into these step ups again. Going to stick to this height. Five on each side. Driving through the heel. You can see I'm kind of aiming towards the middle of the step. Just the higher I go up on this step, I want to make sure that I'm safe and that it's not going to tip over. So aim for the middle as much as you can, even if you're coming from the corner like I am. Driving through the heel. Body's tall here. You can see right now, I'm coming from the corner of the step. Before I was coming more from the back of the step. Both are fine, just a little bit different. All right, back over to those push-ups. Make plenty of room. You know the number. That's easy part. All right, big breath in. Breathe out as you're moving. Pushing through the floor. Dumbbell deadlift to row. We're doing 5 of each. 1 deadlift, 1 row. Stand up. Back is nice and flat here, moving with control on these. Let me show you from the front. Hips are back on the deadlift, rowing up 1 at a time. Show you from the other side. Hips are back. You can alternate, or you can always start with the same side. I don't think it matters too much here. All right, grab your band. We're going to be jumping up and over here. All right, make sure everything's in place. I'm going to do more hops unless I start to feel it in my knees, and then I might go back to more of the jumps. Don't worry if you're moving a little slower here. That's okay, I am. We're doing 10 total. All right, and then hip flexion. The band is around the feet, standing up nice and tall. Driving through the floor. Keep your head up. Where your head is, your body will go. So if you keep your head up, it's going to help with your posture. Other side, I have my hands near my hips to keep track and make sure they are staying square, one right next to the other. All right, I had to pick a hot day to try this one, but that's okay. We've got just 1 more round to go. All right, last time on the step-ups. I'm going to show you this time from the front. I think that's an important angle for you to see. I'm going to start with my right leg. That's usually a little bit harder for me. This is it, last set. Driving through that heel, body's tall here. Last 5. I know you can hear me breathing. I hope you're breathing as well. Driving through that heel, the foot that's up on the step, keeping the armpits in tight to the body. All right, done with that. Let's do our last push-ups. Get that block right underneath your chest. Take a breath in, breathe out as you're moving. Push through the floor. Abs are engaged. Elbows in towards the body. Last one. All right, done with the push-ups. Grab your dumbbells. We'll do those last bent over rows. Nice and slow with control here. We have plenty of time. One arm moving at a time. Other arm is staying stable. Reaching slightly forward with the arm that's staying stable. If you are feeling any pain in your shoulders, in your lower back, lower your weight or lower your reps. We've already done a lot of reps here. Last one. All right, we just got a couple hops and an ab exercise, and then we're done. All right, I'm gonna do these hoppy again until I need a break. Still trying to land and leave with both feet at the same time. If I'm not doing the right rep range, please feel free to do the correct rep range. I am trying my hardest to count. Standing up nice and tall, last 5. Breathing out as you're lifting. Body's tall. That leg's stable, hips are stable. Awesome job.